been lost is a very important achievement for us and for the politicians that are here today. So the history of the CN2747, I'll keep it kind of brief, but those who know me know that I've been allowed 50 minutes to speak, or is it 5? I can't remember. It's 50 or 5, I think it doesn't matter. I'll take whatever time I need. Nobody's going to stop me, right? Yes. So it was built. The engine was built in April 1926 at the CNR Shops in Transcona, and it was the first steam engine constructed at the Transcona Shops and the first built in Western Canada. It was the first time they allowed an engine to be built in anywhere other than Ontario. So this is an achievement in itself. It took 27 days to build the engine, and it cost $37,765 to build it. After providing 33 years of service to CNR, CN2747 was retired from active duty in 1959. Now, after the retirement, it was scheduled to be scrapped, along with all the other steam locomotives, marking the end of the steam era. But in November 1959, the Kiwanis Club of Transcona requested that CNR donate a steam engine for public display. They didn't want them to all be lost. We want one. CN granted this request and selecting the locomotive 2747 to be donated to Transcona as a token of dedication to the citizens of the town of Transcona. Because the people of Transcona worked really hard at CNR and they paid really well, so it was saying thank you to Transcona for all you did. So they donated the engine and said they were going to place it for display on Plessis Road. Now it's interesting that when you just can't move an engine and put it somewhere in a park, they had to build a platform with rail lines and things in there, and it was sitting on rails. There's rails. They brought the engine to the Victoria line, and they said, how do we get it from there to the park? So they cut the rails and took the end pieces and took a big bulldozer and slowly pulled them over so they lined up with the track in the park where the engine was going to sit, and then slowly moved it. And not by power, just slowly moved it until it was in its position. So when you see it in the park now, you know that it was just a feat in itself getting it to that spot on Plessis Road. The Kiwanis Club maintains CN2747. It was given to them, so they maintained it. They took that role very seriously, and until 1981. And then at that point, the engine was transferred to the Midwestern Rail Museum or the Winnipeg Railway Museum. And there's some people from that organization here today as well. Now, during that time, William Briarcliff from Transcona, him and his family owned the Transcona Funeral Home. He took this very personally. He was a member of the Kiwanis Club, and he said, this is such an important historic monument, I'm going to look after it. So him and his family more than once got into the gate, got the key, I guess, and they repainted the engine just on their own, in their own dime. As well, he raised money on his own for the engine, and he kept that money. When he passed away, I got the envelope with all the money and checks he had collected, and I donated to the Rotary, who in turn donated to our park committee. So Mr. Briarcliff and his family who are here, there's a person who was just dedicated, for whatever reason, to not let that thing die, and to make sure it was preserved for future generations. And he did it. Now in the old days, there was a chain link fence around the engine, and for those from Transcona, like myself, we used to play football in that park, and we'd crawl under the chain link, we'd go in and have parties in the engine. In fact, we found a lot of beer bottles and such later, but it wasn't closed off, it was open for everybody, and we went in, right, Murray? We played, we went that park. And eventually, we decided, and the museum used to get calls, oh, somebody's in the train, or somebody's on the train. The museum didn't own it, but we had to be there trying to fix up the chain link fence, trying to put signs up, put dirt to stop people crawling under it. And we didn't own it, so we thought, when Lauren Tyson was president, God rest his soul, great guy, and myself and Lauren and Murray Rougeau and a couple of other board members, we met with Lauren and we said, you know what, the engine's in a park, we don't own it, we fix it a bit, why don't we try to buy the engine from the museum so we can actually seriously get down to doing some work for it. Midwestern Rail Museum owned it, and Lauren Tyson asked me to negotiate the terms with the Railway Museum. It took me a year, almost a year, back and forth because it was their baby, and they did not want to let it go to an organization they didn't trust would actually look after it as well as they would. But they didn't have any money. So when I talked to him, he promised things that I shouldn't have promised. I'll find the money, don't you worry. We got the money, we got money. You got money? We got money. We didn't have money, but we've got money. We can make it happen. And finally, after negotiation, they said, okay, we'll sell it to you if you can afford it. How much are you asking? $1. Are you sure? That's it? $1. Okay. So we decided to buy the engine, and on December of 2015, we made the presentation. But we've done some research. I don't even know if they've cashed that check on it. We're not sure if they've cashed a dollar check, so they could come back to us and say it's missing, and you owe us that plus interest.
No, they signed paperwork.
Okay, but we're not really sure about it, but we own the engine now, and that opened a whole new world of opportunity because you own something. We had a vision. We need to have that train available for future generation. We need to preserve, protect, and display, and make it accessible. We opened it up during the summer so kids, young people, adults could go inside the cab because we put on the back a big railing up there that people can stairs and people can climb into the engine. It's available for people. But initially, when we took ownership, we met with Murray Rouge and myself and the president and others, and met with Councillor Russ Wyatt. We said, what are we going to do with the engine? Because it was wide open. We said, we're going to move it to the library. That was on the books, Councillor Wyatt. Now let's move it to the public library. We also said, well, why don't we move it beside the Transcona Museum, attach it, and have it right there. And then the third scenario was let's move it in front of the CNR shops. But the first thing we did, through Alana, our curator, let's get an assessment of the engine. Can it handle a move? What's the condition of it? And the assessor came, the special guy who does this stuff, said, you guys, it's going to be 5 years, it's going to be gone, and if you try moving it, it'll be gone tomorrow. It cannot handle a move. The rust perforation and everything else in title with it. So our decision was made, and we decided to keep the engine where it was. And then after 10 years or so, and a lot of hard work for volunteers, a lot of money found, grants by Alana and Jennifer, a lot of fundraisers, we raised over $600,000, and it's paid off. We own that. That structure on there is protected. We have availability of students to go into it and citizens, and that train will be there for future generations to enjoy, and it will be preserved. So it's about the wonderful community, as many are, where we're focused, everybody came together and realized the importance of 2747 and how we must continue to preserve and protect it, because future generations will miss out on the steam engine, over 100 years old, that served our community, served the north, served the west, but it was so important to preserve that. So it's like anything you do in the community, get people together who care and we're focused, and the job's not over. We're still working at enhancement to the park and the engine. But that's the story of 2747. It's there because of the folks from Transcona and the government, the official that supported it, that we met with. We never had one official say, I can't get you any money. They all believed in the importance of 2747. I'm going to acknowledge Daniel Blake. He's not here, but he really helped negotiate with the CN and bring the CN board to the table to help us secure a fairly large donation from them, because they all realized how important it was. So, are there any questions?